Hi everyone, Petrik here. Well, today's video, this will be about all the best books that I have read within this year so far, but only for the third quarter of 2024. And not gonna lie, this will probably be the shortest best books of the year so far video because, you know, those sayings, right? Sometimes I see comments saying that, you know what, booktubers cannot be trusted because they read more than 10 books per month. Well, I'm about to destroy that notion because in these 3 months, I've read only 6 novels and 2 novellas. Yeah, within 3 months, I've read 6 novels, 2 novellas. And that's usually the number of books that I read within a single month. Well, even in the year 2017, I used to read more than 10 books per month. Back when I didn't have a booktube channel. But as I mentioned, if you have been following my YouTube channel, then you know that I went to the UK in the month of August, and ever since then, I've been trying to catch up with everything. And I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to catch up to the things that I need to catch up on. But, well, this is how it goes. For the month of July until the month of September, I read a total of 6 novels and 2 novellas. So for today's video, I'll be talking about, of course, the best 5 books that I've read within those 3 months, which is not saying a lot because I've read only 8 books in total. But well, I like to always be transparent about my statistics, even when I'm not reading a lot of books. And well, I like to consider it, I guess, a quality over quantity situation because I, at the very least, managed to find 2 5-stars book within this quarter. So let's get started, okay? From the least favorite, although these are my top 5 favorites, but let's start from the least one. And this is for Sistah Samurai by Tatiana. This is a novella. Originally, this was, I think, a standalone novella, but now it has become a series. I think it will be 3 or 4 books, but I really enjoyed this one. If you love anime, you love reading novella, and also you love reading fantasy novels, then I think you love reading fantasy novellas, then I think you really should give Sistah Samurai a try. The voice in this novella, it is absolutely distinct, and I loved every moment of reading this novella. By the end of it, I think I gave this one a 4.5 stars rating only because I wanted more out of it. That's really, that can be considered an issue or an advantage depending on your perspective, but that's my opinion anyway. I wanted more out of Sistah Samurai. I think it had a satisfying ending, and also, as I said, if you love Samurai Champloo and also samurai anime, then I think you will really enjoy reading Sistah Samurai. The magical sword, there's even a Blastoise, well, a form of Blastoise from Pokemon in Sistah Samurai, and yeah, it's super enjoyable. And more importantly, I always give praises to authors that can capture distinct voices in narration, and Tatiana certainly got that in Sistah Samurai. And yeah, you can probably read this in about 1 or 2 hours. So I highly recommend you to read this one. And after that, I will give number 4 to Empire of Grass. This is the second book in the Last King of Boston art series by Ted Williams. I just talked about this one in my wrap-up video, but I think it is a great sequel to The Witchwood Crown, but I did not expect that the first half of this one would be slower than I expected. It's not until I reach part 2 of the book, where Unver's storylines start to enter the story, that I felt more invested in Empire of Grass. But if you have read Ted Williams' books, that you will know that all of his books, they are slow burn. They are not as action-packed as some of the cover art like to portray. They are really slow burn with beautiful writing style, and usually the actions exploded in the last portion of each book. That has always been the situation since the Dragonbone Chair, Stone of Farewell, and also to Green Angel Tower, and I guess the same as well to The Witchwood Crown, and now, of course, the Empire of Grass. The last 30% of Empire of Grass, it was all hell's break loose situation, and it basically ended on a cliffhanger. Well, cliffhanger for all POV characters, and I really cannot wait to read the third book in the series, Into the Narrow Dark. But before that, as I mentioned in my TBR video, I will be reading Brothers of the Wind first. But this is a great book. It's a great sequel, and it's probably the bleakest one of all the books in the Ostenart saga so far. Ted Williams has become one of my favorite authors ever since I read Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy last year, and I had the privilege and honor to work as an art director for the Broken Binding edition of Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy, and I'm really happy with the result of that. I guess that's kind of like a tangent, but this is just to say that I really enjoyed being in the world of Ostenart, and I look forward to reading the sequel as soon as I can. And even though I love The Witchwood Crown more than Empire of Grass, there are no bad books in the Ostenart saga. At the very least, there are 4 out of 5 stars rating. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This is in the number 4 spot. And moving on after that, let's go to the number 3 spot. This is another novella that I managed to finish in the third quarter of 2024. This is The Narrow Road Between Desires by Petrik Rothfuss. So for this one, if you don't know, this is a reimagining and expansion to the Lightning Tree novella as well. Well, the Lightning Tree is kind of like a short novella. This is a longer novella because I think it received a total of 15,000 words expansion. But on first time reading, I actually enjoyed reading the Lightning Tree more. I still really love this one. But this is Petrik Rothfuss. I always love reading his writing, and yeah, I know we are all waiting for the Doors of Stone. Even though I read The Name of the Wind in the year of 2017, and yeah, I'm still waiting for the Doors of Stone, and I know many of you probably read The Name of the Wind much earlier than me, and I get that. But when it comes to writing and also my passion for the series, regardless of the waiting time for the Doors of Stone, I cannot deny that I love every stories in the Kingkiller Chronicle, including The Narrow Road Between Desires. But for now, I will just say that the expansion somehow, even though they are very important, I feel like to really experience the rewarding experience of all this expansion, I feel like we need Doors of Stone. I mean, for example, there is Embril now. There's Embril included in The Narrow Road Between Desires, and I believe Petrik Rothfuss has talked about this will be important eventually. But we haven't seen that yet. We will see that only after we get the Doors of Stone. And as we know, that book is still not out yet, and I have no idea when that book will be out. The writing is beautiful as always, but the expansion, the 15,000 words expansion, somehow it kind of hinders the flow of the writing that was so immaculate in the Lightning Tree. That's in my opinion anyway. I don't know whether any of you feels the same about that as I did. But yeah, on the plus side, this one received so many illustrations, so many interior illustrations by Nate Taylor, such as this one. This is just one of many, so many interior illustrations, and I think they are beautiful, and I have no doubt that they will enhance your reading experience. But to put it simply, I still really enjoyed The Narrow Road Between Desires. I have no idea whether it is necessary for this expansion to exist or not. But when it comes to Petrik Rothfuss books, I think I have a better experience when I'm doing a second read of each title. That includes The Name of the Wind and The Slow Regard of Silent Things. I haven't done a second read of The Wise Man's Sphere and The Narrow Road Between Desires yet, so I guess we'll find out about that eventually. But for now, on the third quarter of 2024, this is in my third spot. So we only have 2 more books to talk about. So these are really difficult for me to decide. So let's just consider them as being tied for now. But the first one that I want to mention, this is for The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This book has been published more than 30 years ago, and I have always wanted to read Pillars of the Earth. This has always been in my radar, even before I started reviewing books. I already know about the Pillars of the Earth, but it is only this year that I finally started reading it, that I finally finished reading it. And oh my god, it is as good as so many people told me about. It is amazing. The characters, they are so well realized, and you will love and hate the characters in The Pillars of the Earth. Even though this is a very big book, it's more than 400,000 words in total, but it did not feel like it. Every chapter, everything is just so engaging, and as I said, I really love the characters and I hate some of the characters as well. But They are intentionally written to be hated. I will be surprised if people actually like these villains. They are awful. They're really awful characters. They behave so miserably, and there is no doubt that you will hate these characters as Ken Follett intended. Now, I haven't read World Without End. Yeah, I haven't read World Without End yet. That's the sequel to the Pillars of the Earth. But I believe every book in the King's Bridge series are designed to be a standalone title, but all of them takes place in the same world and universe. But as I said, I really love the Pillars of the Earth, and some have actually told me that World Without End is even better than the Pillars of the Earth, and that sounds super incredible to me because I already gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars rating, and all the description, all the explanation on how to build a church, how to build a Gothic church, I think somehow Ken Follett managed to make them so compelling. They are so interesting to me, and I think it goes to show just how much stuff goes into organization and how much stuff goes into building a church. It's incredible, really, and it really puts you into perspective to remember that almost everything that you see, almost everything that you witness, even a book, these are made by so many people, not just by one person. And that includes the building of a church for sure, especially in the times being written in the Pillars of the Earth. But I have already posted a full spoiler review of the Pillars of the Earth on my YouTube channel, and somehow that became the best performing videos when it comes to reviews on my YouTube channel of all time. And yeah, that's amazing to me. But anyway, if you still haven't read the Pillars of the Earth yet, please give it a try. The praises are all so well deserved. It is an absolutely incredible book. And at the number 1 spot, together with Pillars of the Earth, of course, it will be The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This is the newest book by Joe Abercrombie, slated to be released in May 2025. And yeah, I know that's still 8 months away, but I cannot deny this is the best epic fantasy book, new epic fantasy book that I read within this year so far. And if you want to blame me, some of you are asking me questions about why have I decided to review this book 8 months early? Well, if we already have the advanced reading copy, it means we are allowed to read and review the book early. That has always been the case for many years, and well, it is up to the publisher to decide that. And of course, if you have this copy, you will be reading this book too. Come on, do not lie about it. So yeah, I have decided to read this book much earlier than the publication date. And of course, it is Joe Abercrombie, one of my top favorite authors of all time. And I loved everything about The Devils. It is not as mind-blowing as The First Law yet, but this is still the first book in the new series. It is more entertaining, it is more fun, more humorous, and more action-packed. And although the characters, as of now, compared to The Blade itself, the first book in the First Law trilogy, aren't as iconic yet, this isn't to say that they are not distinct at all. I mean, this is Joe Abercrombie we were talking about earlier. I talked about how important distinct narration is. Well, Joe Abercrombie is really the master when it comes to that regard in the fantasy genre. Sandan Glokta, Logan Nine Fingers, and of course in this book as well, Balthazar, Sham Ivam Draxi, and then there are many more characters, and I will let you experience them yourself. If you want to know more about my full thoughts regarding The Devils, I have posted a full spoiler-free review of The Devils on my YouTube channel. But if you are the fans of The First Law, make sure to get this one. If you are new to Joe Abercrombie's work, you make sure to get this one as well. I think this is more accessible compared to The Blade itself, and this is the first 5 out of 5 stars rating epic fantasy book that I read within this year, not counting reread. But this is Joe Abercrombie we're talking about. After all, the actions, even though this is not as grim and dark compared to the First Law trilogy, but the actions, the characters, the narration, they are just so compelling to me. It is just what I needed at the right time. If you have been watching my channel, you know how desperately I needed a new 5-star epic fantasy read, and this book got that for me. It is absolutely incredible, and I love everything about The Devils, as expected, of Joe Abercrombie. But yeah, that's really it. That's the best books that I've read within the year 2024, within the third quarter of 2024. And let me know what you think about my pick for the best books of the third quarter, and let me know what were your best books for the third quarter of 2024. For the next video about this list, well, of course, it will be the best books of the year video, and I hope I'll be able to get more books read in October, November, and eventually December. And yeah, until then, I just want to say thank you so much for to all of you who keep on watching my videos. The past few months have been a bit odd because, as I said, I've been trying to catch up to everything, but I really appreciate all of you who keep on tuning to watch my videos. It means a lot to me. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.